Good evening and welcome today to the 140th broadcast from Yoran Alive. And I'm coming to you live from Bucharest, Romania, straight away from the Jewish Community Center of Radio Shalom Romania. So today with me is a good friend living from Sibu, and we are going to be talking about creating a passion-based business with Monica Ducu. So before I welcome Monica on the call, let me give a little intro to who this wonderful lady is with us. So I understand Monica for 13 years has been a regional, or should I say was a regional manager at Raiffeisen Bank, leading, coaching and training big teams in sales and operations, negotiating and signing deals of millions of euros, working with thousands of entrepreneurs and businesses. As a leader, she discovered coaching and its power to create amazing results for her teams. So as a next step, in 2017, I understand, she left the corporate world and created her own business, coaching and consulting practice, where she works with entrepreneurs who are building great businesses. Since 2019, Monica is the ambassador for Mind Valley, the biggest personal development company in the world. So please join your hands together. Welcoming with me is Monica Ducu. Bună seara, Monica. Good evening.
Hi, Yoran. Thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you for what you do. I really appreciate you creating all these talks and doing all the effort to create a community and to make people interact, because we realized during these crazy times that the community and the connection between people is so important. So thank you.
Absolutely. I'm very glad. I'm very glad to have you. I remember that I had been in touch with Monica through one of our connections, and she was there to help me out with the business in coaching, and somehow we didn't really get going. I didn't really I don't know, I was still lost with myself. And one of the first persons I remember once I started with this was you. And I said, this would be a great time to collaborate and get in touch with you and get you on the broadcast and get your knowledge out there to everyone that is listening in. So Monica, would you like to tell us how from a corporate world, how did you start from there? I mean, and you moved towards entrepreneurship. Can you give us a little in short, this journey of yours?
Yeah, so first of all, I will also want to thank you all for being here, for taking time for yourself, because creating a business and learning to create your business is taking time for yourself. And I always appreciate people that want more in their life than how life is now. So yeah, I have always been a super achiever. I was very competitive, so very early in corporate world, I get on the management level, and the teams that I led at some point, I had the biggest team. I think it was something like 250. It was amazing but difficult to handle.
What was 250? Sorry,
people in my team. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. That's good.
I think I was in Bucharest at that time, and when I moved to Bucharest, I was not aware about my location of my branches, so it was a challenge even to find them. So I enjoyed a lot being there. I enjoyed creating those results and that performance, and I tried everything. I have been a bad boss. I have been a good boss, and I tried until I tested and I get into the middle. And that was the point I discovered coaching, and I realized how much I can create with my teams when I come from a different side, from a different angle. And but at some point I said, okay, now I want more. And 3 years ago, I left the corporate world to embark on a new journey. I was not aware what I wanted to do at that point, but I took some time to realize, and right now I'm doing coaching. I'm
Mhm.
doing consulting for people that wants to create businesses. And why I believe so much in passion is because if you have a passion and if you create your business aligned with your passion, this will be a business for long term. And
Okay.
I saw this. I work with thousands of entrepreneurs. I know
Hmm.
how important is the passion in this setup.
Absolutely.
I remember about your business
Yeah,
when we first talked. It was
about the
about purses.
photography. Yeah.
Yeah, about purses. Something I
So,
remember.
so it was the same thing at during the time when you just said like I didn't know what you wanted to do when you left corporate. So I believe I was in the same kind of boat, and I was like, "Ah, what do I really want to pursue photography? What else? What do I want to do?" So I'm coming back to you about the fact where you were mentioning you were in corporate, and then you said it was not enough for you. So what would you say was missing, even though you were managing 250 people, coaching, training, consulting entrepreneurs, making millions or helping them make millions? Monica, what was missing?
Um, I think inside of us, we all want something more, to grow more, to be more, and this entrepreneurship was something that I was not really testing
Hmm.
during my life. Some years ago, my ex-husband started Fashion Days, Point RO, that became the biggest retail fashion in southern Eastern Europe. So I was there in the first year,
Wow.
but uh, I always wanted to try something more. So that's why I embarked on this journey. And I forgot to mention about one of the biggest achievements of the last years is
Hmm.
becoming an ambassador for Mind Valley. And I so much love to be a part of this amazing team that is transforming the world, because Vision, the founder of Mind Valley, has a dream of touching 1 billion lives with the
Wow.
knowledge from Mind Valley. So
Wow. That's
I
amazing.
love to be there, and when I joined the ambassador team, I
Hmm.
felt like I step into another world. Like,
So
yeah,
could you tell us a little bit about people that might not know what really Mind Valley is all about? Could you give us uh,
yeah.
a little intro into it, and maybe tell us, you as an ambassador, how is this influencing the company or influencing Romania, for that matter?
Okay, so Mind Valley has started 10 years ago, and right now it has some great content on this personal development. A normal course will have something like 10% following rate of the people that buy those courses. But
Mm-hmm.
here is people complete the courses like 70-80%, and they found some very important tools to help people with their journeys. That's
I
why
see.
all their students become fans. They have fans all over the world, like
Right. Mm-hmm.
tattooing Mind Valley on their hearts. And I see this all the time in the tribes, in the groups, with the quest, they are not called courses, they are called
Mm-hmm.
quests.
I see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
what I do as an ambassador, I support students on their journeys, and we as ambassadors, we have allocated some of the quests, and I'm on 3 quests as
Hmm.
an ambassador, and right now is the first business quest from Mind Valley. It's a networking course,
Hmm.
and I'm an ambassador there, and also for Visions course, which I really love. And um, so this is what I do. I support people on their journeys. I
Fantastic.
take the journey with them, or
Okay.
whatever, I don't
Yeah.
know, calls or coaching or whatever.
Well, I wish you the very best with Mind Valley and your journey with them, and of course the journey which you are doing as a business coach and consultant. So getting down to the nitty gritties of today's topic of creating a passion based business. When would you say one would say to himself that or herself that this is the right time for me to start something, start a business, start entrepreneurship?
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now.
No.
So, and this is some Chinese saying,
Hmm.
but uh, we all want something. I mean, almost all people feel this need that they want something more with their lives.
Right.
So if it's a desire for you, you don't need to, like myself, to finish the old job and to start a new one. But for me, I was working, I don't know, 10, 12 hours per day, and I could not think of anything during that time. But you can start something like, I don't know, 30 minutes per day, 1 hour per day, to allocate this time to research, to look into what you would like to do, and to start doing this as a side business, as a side something, side passion.
Right, right. So this is, let's say, for people that and has this question also to others, and I think it's a very interesting question, right? So let's say a person like you was into the corporate world, enjoyed what she was doing. She said, "Yes, this is what I want to take the business coaching and consulting and take it ahead." What about someone like me, like, okay, photography, and now I'm broadcasting? What about someone that wants to do something, feels the need to do it, but has no idea where to start, even finding what that person wants to do?
So it's about passions, and our passion. There's a great exercise from Marissa Peer to look into what you enjoy doing between 7 and 14 years old, because there, what I like to do so much right now is to
Right.
talk. So
Yeah.
this was something that I enjoyed
Okay.
also when I was a child.
So you're saying
Uh,
between 7 to 14, that is the
yeah,
time when you look
yeah,
back at that time.
yeah. To look as a reflection back about your passions, about what you really enjoy doing.
Monica,
Uh,
why would you say this phase? Why would you say this is the phase when you should look into it?
because we create at that point we are much more in touch with our soul, with what we want to bring into the world. Afterwards, the
Mm-hmm.
school will somehow erase some of these and will make channel us into some directions,
You know,
because they are trendy, but not
right.
because they are in connection with our soul. If I'm an artist, and but I don't know, I have a job in accountancy, I will never feel really fulfilled, because that artist from inside of me
Mm-hmm.
really wants to live, he really wants to thrive. So
Wow. Wow.
it's just also, what would you like to what can you talk about endless, you know? We
Mm-hmm.
all have some topics that we really like to talk
Right.
about. So what is the topic that you really like to talk about? This is the topic that you should create your business, because it's something that you are passionate about.
This is very interesting, because when you said 7 to 14, I was like looking back, and I myself, I'm doing this kind of thought right now. What was I doing during that time, right? And I
It
remember I
takes some
was,
time. It takes some time.
and I believe it was during the same time when I was pretty much active in the Jewish community center in India, and I enjoyed doing that, taking activities and taking part, being in charge of different procedures or whatever was happening. I was the editor for the youth bulletin magazine and stuff like that, so reaching out to the community. And now when I'm looking back, and with what I'm doing right now as a broadcaster or a podcaster, I don't know, it kind of makes sense. And yeah, there is something to what you just said about this, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, see, it will take some time. Some of the students are complaining that they don't see anything. They are not connected with themselves, and they don't see. But after a while, if they think, just after some months, I
Hmm.
remember how much I enjoyed playing shop, like
Okay.
selling and buying and using money or fake money. So this
Wow.
is what, doing business is inside of me. So I really enjoy doing this
how much
back
how
in
much
time.
profit did you make then?
I don't know. It was not my focus. My focus was always to be involved, to create more. Yeah.
Okay. So, everybody, good evening. Once again, I am with Monica Ducu, business coach and consultant, as well as the ambassador to Mind Valley, joining me today on today's broadcast. If you have any questions, queries towards your entrepreneurial mindset, or something that you would want to set it in that way and create something different, something new, now is the time. Ask the question on the live broadcast, put it down on the live chat, and I will see that Monica gets the question and she can take it up. So feel free to write in. So, Monica, is passion enough to start something new? Would it, or do we require something else with that?
Uh, you know, uh, in any business, you will have challenges,
Okay.
many. No matter how well prepared you are, you will have challenges.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have the motivation based on your passion, those challenges will take you over. You will not overcome the challenges along the journey. So the passion will help you stay focused and remain there. And because it's like when we were playing, when we were children, we were doing sand castles, but not the focus, not for the result. The focus was to build. This is the idea. As an entrepreneurs, we just build businesses, we create, we do. This is the idea.
Mhm.
And when you are passionate about doing, creating, as I'm passionate about those coaching sessions with my clients and with people, so I'm passionate about all of those. And yeah, there are challenging moments, but I like to connect with people, so I will come back there again and again.
I see. I see. Okay. So this is very interesting, because I was thinking about it also, and it's like, okay, you're more concerned about maybe reaching that goal and making the money and getting those followers. And now I see that you're saying, listen, chill, look back when you're going to play, or when you're, like you said, you're making sandcastles. It's like you're not thinking about how good that sandcastle is going to look, but you're more involved in the journey, and that's absolutely beautiful. And again, I'm reflecting it on my own kind of journey with what I'm doing currently. And it's I'm looking into the enjoyment that I have in bringing people like you on the broadcast who have knowledge to share. Like, and I have told so many people, like, I don't have answers to everything that I'm talking with someone that I'm talking to. I'm learning just like anybody else would, you know. So that's really nice. The thing that I want to ask, is there a certain mindset, like is like you like I would say, is there an entrepreneurial mindset that is needed for this, or it's just passion?
uh, there's a big difference between the mindset of an entrepreneur and the
Hmm.
mindset when you work in a corporation or in a job.
Okay.
So, but you will learn this along the way. One of the most important thing is um, the uncertainty. In business, you need to face uncertainty. When you are in a job, and especially when you work, I don't know, to the government, things like this, you know that the things are stable for if you are there. If you are looking for stable things in your life, maybe entrepreneurship is not your journey, because you there will have a lot of moments when you feel you lose ground, and you know this and I know this.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
happening, it's normal.
Right.
But I like those moments,
It's
because
ups
those
and
moments,
downs, I suppose.
yeah.
So some people, like you're saying, prefer to stay just, I'm comfortable, I'm having my salary, while some people have this urge and the rush to try and go do things.
Yes, yeah,
So
this
this
is
is the
the
mindset that is important.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
this is very, very important to have this awareness that
Hmm.
you are not well equipped for this. If you really want to do it, then you need to learn to face more challenges, to
Absolutely.
be, even to try uh, jumping from I don't know, from a bridge or something, to do things that scare you.
Yep.
This will train your uncertainty skill.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Um, so so I understand one very important thing is that you have to take these things not as failures, which sometimes people get disappointed, but take them as a learning, as learning points, as learning moments, as you would say, the down parts, right? Is during this mindset, is it important to follow someone's footsteps, like have a mentor, read books about a certain person in that field? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, to have this kind of people, certain steps, it's also you are looking for certainty, and it's normal that we look for something to connect us with this safe ground.
Right.
Uh, but you can be inspired by other people's journeys, but you cannot uh, follow their steps. uh, what I would mostly recommend, this entrepreneurship is a lonely journey, uh, as also as leadership. When
Okay.
you are there up, it's so difficult to talk with people about your challenges. So it's important to connect with people that are like you on a similar journey. This is very, very important.
This is
Uh,
something new that I've heard, but please continue, because go on. I'm
uh,
liking what you're saying. Okay.
yeah, if you are, in a Thursday afternoon and you feel like you want to give up, it's important to know that on Friday you have a networking meeting, a weekly one, or on Monday morning you have a power meeting with a group of people, as an accountability meeting, something that will support your journey. People that
Hmm.
don't judge you, that really understand you, because usually uh, our family is not into this entrepreneurship, so
Right.
they judge it from their mindset. But it's important to be also with people like you, the community, as you said. Yeah.
So what about people that don't have such people to surround themselves, like, so I'm sure you've heard this as well, and most people listening in must have heard this. Surround yourself with 5 people around the same career or the same kind of journey that you want to take. Does that really hold true, and why?
Yes, it's very important. If you think about the 5 closest people around you and you think of their revenue, you make an average of their revenue, and somewhere around is your revenue.
I see.
So
And
it's always like, if you
oh
have
my God,
five, if you
I have
if
to
you
look
have
into this
five
now.
if you have 5 fat friends, most likely you will be the 6th one, then not taking any gym classes or anything. So
So
yeah.
okay, so we're talking about, so if when people are listening and trying, supposed to be the 5 best friends, or the 5 people that are closest to me, or the 5 people I'm spending most time with? Who are these 5?
Yeah, you spend most time with
The
this.
most time with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you are living with your parents, but you don't interact with them, they are not so important. But if they, I don't know, ask you to do some things, and you are very connected with them, then they count on this challenge, these 5 people around you. So it's important to count people that takes the most of your time,
Okay.
most of your mind, occupies the most of your mind and of your time. These are those kind of people.
Okay, okay. So I have Camelia that has responded with a comment, and she says, besides passion, which I believe she's writing, I think curiosity is also very important. So just to reply to Camelia, and maybe Monica, you can complete me. If you have the passion, I think you're already mind open to curiosity, to try things, to be creative about it. Would that be correct? Would that be said correctly?
uh, Curiosity is important to have it on the journey, not
Mm-hmm.
as a start, but it's important to be open. And uh, yeah, if you are close to opportunities, the opportunities will not come to you. So only if you are curious, the opportunities will come to you more and more. And in a
Okay.
business, it's important to be open to opportunities, because
Oh.
no big business that we know today has
Mm-hmm.
started. Facebook has been created as a way for Mark to get girls, so
Yes. Okay. That's a
this
good point.
kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So people have something in their mind, but somehow the market will tell them, and they adapt because they were curious to adapt it. Not if they would be close, probably the businesses wouldn't have been here.
Okay. Good point there. Thank you. Thank you for writing that in. And Camila, thank you for mentioning that as well. That's a very good point. Just as Monica confirmed as well. So if I was to say 5 people you surround with, or mentors and books to read, CEOs, you would say probably the 5 friends or the 5 people that you surround yourself with,
Yeah,
right?
but if you read a lot, but a lot, that counts for 5, because
So,
yeah, I
mhm.
have somebody said at some point that if I want, uh, I don't know, Einstein to be my mentor, I will read constantly books by him, and he will influence my life.
Uh-huh.
That's
Okay,
for
so
sure.
then the question is, how much is too much? But what I'm trying to say here is, how much should one read in order for him to equivalate that book or that mentor that he has through reading, through videos, as one of his people that he's with? So how much should he be reading? Do we have like a number here, or?
uh, it's great to stop at some point and start doing, because uh, uh, these are two kinds of things, like taking in, accumulating through reading and watching videos. And the other one is action. And action is the only way that you will create something in the world. So when you stop reading and start creating, this is the most important moment. Uh, it's
Okay.
important to have information. It's
Right.
important to be updated. But at some point you need to create, to make mistakes, because let's be honest, you will make mistakes. Sometimes we want to
Absolutely.
be perfect, but
Hmm.
perfect is not from this world. So
So yeah, be ready to make mistakes. Like one of these were one of the first points that you mentioned as well. That you have to have that curiosity and also be ready to have the journey to go up and down and not be stable, because that's what it is all about, and that's how you learn from the mistakes, or let's say from the lessons that you're learning that you're not maybe probably not good at and need to get better. So yeah, that was also very well said. So I want to see Camelia writes in saying books will influence you if you are open and want to be influenced. Okay.
yeah.
um I believe, yeah, I mean, you don't need to accept everything, but maybe there will be some things that will resonate with you. So this is a question here that I had in mind. What about if one has a certain mindset about a certain business or about starting something? How can he change that? Is there a way to change it? Does he need to change it? Or can he use this certain mindset of accepting something different to build on his passion?
uh, you know, there's no uh, strategy or uh, something predefined to create a business. So start from where you are today. It's
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
nobody can tell you what is the best way. You will see it. You just need to adapt, because we are different. Every one of us is different. So
Mm-hmm.
if something worked for my friend, maybe it will not work for me. It's not really necessary that it will work for me. And even with books, or some people will resonate better with books, but other with videos, others, it's, we are different. We see things different. So
I
it's
see.
fine either way. It's your way is the best way. This is the idea, to believe in yourself all the time
Mhm.
and to make the steps, and of course mistakes. Yeah.
So we have a very not influential, very active viewer who is Kame, and she's saying you can say again, perfection doesn't exist. Mistakes are lessons, as she's pointing it out here.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I'm with Monica Ducu on my 140th broadcast from Bucharest, Romania. She's a business coach and consultant. So if there are any questions that you would like to write in and speak to Monica and express your queries, definitely write into the broadcast chat from my page. You ran alive, and I will see that I take it up to Monica about what you have to ask. So Monica, moving
Even,
on.
sorry, even
Sorry.
specific for your businesses, if you have questions about your businesses, I don't know, something
Mhm.
specific, because everything changed in the business world in the last month. So yeah, if there are questions that you have
Mhm.
uh, uh, regarding this, I'm open to anything.
Well, then I will want to take this a little further, if you would like, if you don't mind, and we don't have to, but tell us what were the major kinds of changes that you have seen as as an entrepreneur, as a business coach and consultant. What kind of queries are people asking, or what are the challenges that businesses are facing today, or business owners, for that matter?
Yeah, so you can see this from two points of view, as oh my God, what is happening, or oh my
Uh-huh.
God, how many opportunities there are in the world. Because the world has changed. In the last 10 years, we experienced a thriving economy, money were more and more, things were better and better. And but we need to realize that every 10 years, we have crises. We have every 10 years we have a crisis in the personal field, and
Right.
every 10 years we have a crisis on the economical, I don't know, social field.
In
So
every shape or form, for that matter. Yeah, true.
yeah. So it was something that really hit us hard, and so, that's why it's a crisis, because it's unexpected, it's
Hmm.
coming in the most unexpected way possible. uh, and yeah, so many things happen, so many challenges where the restaurants are not even now open, or so many other
Yeah.
businesses that are not working, people that are losing money. And yeah, if you work to government, you are safe now, but it's one of the not so many possibilities. But on the other hand,
Hmm.
let's think uh, how many things were not a few months ago and are right now.
How many?
People,
I couldn't hear that
um,
properly. Sorry.
opportunities,
How many
like,
opportunities were
yeah,
not there previously and right now
yes,
there are? Wow,
people,
this I want to hear.
yeah, people are not traveling so much, so they spend more time. You need to find ways to create entertainment for people not traveling, especially inside countries.
Hmm. Correct.
Also, people are working from home. Okay, there are so many opportunities to service this kind of people that are now working from home. Children are not going to school, and probably even for the next year, they will have, the parents will have these challenges. What can you do to support parents in these challenges? Like,
Hmm.
I saw so many things, like Zumba sessions, or uh, online sessions of anything, I don't know, to help people with like playing, taking children to play on Zoom sessions, to help people release the pressure from having all the time with children. So many things. I, I just, if I think to uh, a problem, I will
Hmm.
find opportunities. Yeah, there are problems a lot, but there are a lot of opportunities.
Yep. Yep. I can totally relate to this. I can really, really relate to this. Um, I I will tell you this later. I mean, okay, and maybe I shouldn't mention it because I'm quite informal with my broadcasts and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're aware, but I had my father join the broadcasts a few times, and I'm taking this in relation to the point that you mentioned, where you look at the opportunity, you look at the positive side of things, and I lost him on the 8th of June, unfortunately, to the current crisis of
Okay.
what happened. And but he really, besides coming on the session, so that was, I was really glad that I did it. So that was the positive thing there, that I did the sessions, that I could get him. I have his voice right on some of the broadcasts, and he, being a very supportive father, enjoyed each of the broadcasts, and he was always saying, you make such great, uh, oh, I forgot the words. You make justice to any topic that you take. And I don't completely agree, because I think I'm still learning. Like, I don't have much information, but even so, the negative would be that I lost him during this time. But on the positive side is that I'm doing something that I love, that he loved as well. And I, f- I recently found a job. I'm now starting to work with Acronis. So I'm really happy that I'm getting kind of a salary, and plus I'm doing what I really love to do. Right. So I'm really, in a way, glad, and I wanted to just share this. And it's your mindset, and I think, Monica, that's absolutely very important to see how that minds, how you channel your thoughts. Very well said. So let's take this a little ahead, and now let's say people have the passion. One person knows what he wants to do, Monica, and is ready to go with the ups and downs. But how does one set up this long-term, fulfilling business plan that he has?
Okay, thank you for opening up, and thank you for sharing this with us.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. I feel comfortable, so it's okay.
Okay,
I always wanted it to be this way. So yeah.
great. So uh, the long term will come. You know, you just need to go. I have a mentor that usually saying that your business plan will uh, stay in the market for 5 minutes because something will be changed, you know, from your business plan.
Okay. Okay.
But it's important to have it, to have an image, to have an idea, and to be open to create your journey day by day, week by week, month by
Hmm.
month. You
Okay.
know, this is and the long run, it will come. But there's something that I always advise my clients is the switch between important and urgent. And we are so used to do only urgent stuff. Important stuff are the stuff that will uh, create a difference in our lives for, I don't know, in the next 6 months, 1 year, or 10 years. It's
Oh,
even reading a book or doing something, taking a course and putting
mhm.
time for yourself, investing time for yourself. And in your business, it's very important once per week to stay and look for the strategy, for what's next, for next steps. Especially, you create steps and you have clients. And at that point, you just are not so mindful to continue what you did so far to get clients. And you get into this trap uh, of doing urgent stuff, and
Mhm.
you think that they are important, but they are just urgent, you know, they are not creating yourself for the longer run. So this is 1 hour per week to look into your next steps is really enough for creating the long term business. Or also the networking community, or uh, being alongside with other people in the journey. So these are the steps that you will take that are important for your long run business.
So what was when you said the urgent things, but would not really help you? So what would these things be? What would the urgent things be that we take and feel that they are important to us?
Yeah, but we are so used to do it, like, okay, I have this client, I have this
Hmm. Hmm.
session, I have this thing, I have the things that I need to check daily. Those
Okay.
things that we need to check daily are the urgent stuff. And yeah, this takes a lot of our time, and it's normal to do it like this. But sometimes we need to move into the important stuff.
Are you talking about checking your social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, stuff like that? Is this what you're talking about?
Maybe these are even waste of energy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if they are for your business, they are good, but and they are not important, they are urgent to keep that account working, running, and posting. But
Okay.
to create the strategy for this, to find new ways to do it, these are important stuff.
Okay. Okay. Monica, would there be any points that you would say is an absolutely do not do while one is trying to pursue towards his passion towards a
No,
certain business? Is there
no,
anything
just
that one should
try.
say, don't do this, or try not to do that, or avoid doing this in
It's
order to
not,
stay focused?
it's not my style, to do
Uh-huh.
to stop this. No, just go and play and do and try, and because testing, it will bring you energy, it will bring you ideas, it will bring you motivation. I never say people stop doing this. Okay, just enjoy, but then maybe switch to the others parts.
Okay. also there is this feeling where one is more receptive than another, right? So one realizes that, okay, I think this venture is not really going so well, I should move on and try something else, while someone else doesn't really realize that, and he still continues, or she still continues along that journey, but is still not able to see where what is, what is really not growing. So what should one do here? Or is there a certain way to find these things out?
Yeah,
When to put the foot down, for example,
yeah, I can relate here with the frog. I don't know if you know that if you put a frog in a boiled water,
Uh-huh.
she will
Okay.
jump.
I
But
think
if you put it and the
it's
water
room to
is cold at the beginning and just becoming
boil it.
warmer and warmer,
Hmm.
she will die there.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
and this is exactly what's happening with our businesses, because we don't realize, we just struggle and struggle and struggle. But after 3 years, if you cannot get the business into a reasonable profit, like you can really live from that profit, then I will say something that I heard, and just take the business and shoot it. Yeah, this is American saying.
So
It,
this is, sorry, go on.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. So it's time to think that maybe this is not the best way, and maybe to reinvent something, to do something different. But this is not the way. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when you say 3 years of your time, which means you're completely 24 hours dedicated to it, or what about someone like me who is having a full-time job and is managing it during his free time?
It's fine 3 years even
Okay.
for this way. No, you don't need to allocate, because 3 years it's the time you really need to figure it out if it will make money for you to stand on your own, you
Yeah.
know.
Okay. That
So
makes
if you
sense.
can stand,
Absolutely.
okay, you don't have a job, and then I can, because a normal business would be would do this 1 year, 1 year and a half, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, maximum 3 years. If after 3 years this is not the way, maybe, I don't know, do
Okay.
something,
So
reinvent.
does this also, Monica, include the fact where the person has tried to change, to tweak, to improve the business, or is this without it? Is
Look, a video stream like YouTube has came into the market a few years ago before YouTube, and it was a failure. But when YouTube came, it was a success because it was time for this. You know,
Mhm,
some
mhm.
businesses, there's not the right time for that business. And I will share my story. Uh, 2 years ago, I started a business about cooking, and it was something like you become the greatest chef even if you don't know how to cook. Like, we send you home the ingredients really uh, portioned, that you can create, and the rest received, and you can
Recipe.
create,
Yep.
yeah,
Hmm.
and you can create the
The
food
dish.
exactly at that point, you know. So you
Okay.
can cook whatever, the most it was you had also the video, but it was not the time. During this quarantine time, I saw
Uh-huh.
so many restaurants coming with this idea, you know, because it was the right
It
time.
was the right time. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
this one, okay, I was lucky that 3 years 2 years ago I realized after 3 months, okay, this is not my journey, this is not something from my
Right.
heart, this is
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
something that I'm really passionate about. So I gave up after 3 months, and it was the a great way. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, wow, this is fantastic. So, I'm with Monica Ducu for the people that are tuned in and with me and didn't have an idea what the hell is going on. So, Monica Ducu is from Sibu, Romania. She's a business coach, consultant, and the ambassador for Mind Valley. So, are you the ambassador representing Romania? I just wanted to know that.
Uh,
It's just a group of ambassadors.
No, but it was so interesting that as an ambassador, there are not so many Romanians as an ambassadors. So yeah, so it was somehow strange at the beginning to feel like this, but no, it's you can be from wherever you want from this world, but not
I
many
see.
Romanians. Yeah.
Okay, so I will ask you something regarding this a little later, but let's continue with the topic. And I wanted to know, so when one is doing a business, how important is branding in this? Or it shouldn't bother him initially till he sets it up, or it is very important right from the beginning?
You know, this
Sorry
is
about that.
this is something new, but we all have a personal brand. Is our uh, image, is the way people know us. Even if we don't have a social media profile, people knows about us that we are in some ways. And but as long as we extend our things in the world, we have a personal brand with everything that we do. People will know things about us, and this create our personal brand. And for the long run, this is very, very important, because people will connect with you based on your personal brand. So that's why I think it's so important to create your personal brand through videos. Videos are very, very powerful. If you don't feel like, okay, you can write. It's also great. But people will know you through this media in the future, and will create ideas about you through this. With everything, I told today to my trainer that he shared that he traveled to another city to make some classes, and I said, okay, but you make this way your personal brand. You create your personal brand for the next 5 years, 10 years. You don't know what you will need this for, but this is the way you create, because those people will remind you in some way, in some certain way.
So for me, it's a little unclear, and I'm trying to understand, Monica.
Please.
So when you say personal brand, is it the logo? Is it what you are, your niche? Because what I initially understood, it's yourself. It's like to know how, like, each of us has a brand. So maybe if you can, I don't know, if
Yeah.
you can help me out for this current moment, and maybe use me as an example, and tell me what would that be as creating a personal brand.
Okay, if I ask your clients, 5 of your clients, what they say about you is your personal brand, you know, and
Uh-huh.
you can influence this. You can influence what people talk about you, what people think about you, because people will buy based on what they think about you, you know, they will connect with you based on this. Yeah,
Okay.
if you sell bread, the personal brand is not important. For mass market products, the personal brand is not important. But if you sell yourself through any kind of services, your personal brand is very important for the
So
long run.
so let's say, if I'm being very straightforward. So
Yes,
let's say
yes,
I'm doing broadcasting, right?
yes.
What would be my personal brand here?
What the viewers say about you, why
And
they want to
uh-huh,
come here, what they want from you, and why they still come, you know,
I
because you
see.
are in some certain ways,
This
because
is
you bring
mhm.
some certain people into the shows. Yeah.
Okay, so I know that there are people watching on right now. So thank you, Monica, for that question, and I'm going to use it absolutely right now, asking those people to tell me what is that brings you to my shows. What is it that you like to come and watch the broadcasts live, as I'm doing it with my client right now? And right now I have Monica Ducu with me. So is that the right question, Monica? Did I ask the right question?
Yeah,
Okay. So if you all can, for me and for Monica, please write it down on the chat. It would be very helpful. And this is a very practical session just to try out, even for me to understand, Monica, exactly what are people talking about me, right? Why are they here, right? Is this the right question, right? Okay, okay. Is there any kind of a method how one can find his personal brand or her personal brand?
Still coming from your passion,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
you and as I shared, it's how you create the way people perceive you, but uh, if I ask your friends, what will they tell you, tell me about you, this is also a part of your personal brand, because
Okay.
uh, and it's very important to be authentic, to be reliable, to
Mm-hmm.
be trustworthy. Depend on the uh, a lawyer is very important to have a personal brand as a trustworthy person, as a person that wins suits, lawsuits.
True.
So
True.
uh, yeah, this is the personal brand, and based on that personal brand, somebody that has a problem will think about that lawyer because they heard about that lawyer.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the point here is now there are two lawyers in the area who are doing exactly the same job, dealing with the same laws, with the same procedures. So what makes one go to the other, right? More than the other one, unless his shop is closed. I'm just saying.
Because they heard somebody talking about, like a
Hmm.
good feedback, good testimonial. Maybe this one of the lawyers is more open and posting videos and creating content and sharing with people. I don't know, if you have this problem, you can
Right.
and uh, that person becomes more reliable in the eyes of uh, the viewers,
Of the clients. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. So are there any tools or ways to find out, like online tools, or if there isn't, then it's fine. It's just a curious question that I wanted to ask you. So
To
to look
increase
into your personal brand.
to look, I think there are a lot of tools out there to how to create it, how to improve it, how
Okay.
to but it's important to have a special one for every kind of career, every kind of business, because it's as a lawyer it's important to be trustworthy or to be, I don't know, some other things, but
Right.
for
Hmm.
other kind of business is important other things,
Absolutely. Absolutely. True.
other, yeah.
So it
Even
depends on your
trust,
business.
yeah, trustworthy is important on almost anything, yeah.
Okay. So one of the questions that I was asking, right? Why are people here? Why do they like coming to the broadcast? So Kami replies saying, I don't have a business. I work in a corporation, but I love to discover people with new ideas, with new challenges. I want to use that for my personal development. So thank you both. So she wrote this even before we touched this. So Kami, thank you for that. And it kind of answered the question that I was asking. And this is the same question that I was asking the remaining of the viewers that are there and saying, why are you here? What makes you come to listen to the broadcasts? Okay, so Monica Ducu is on broadcast with me. In a couple of minutes, we will say goodbye, but don't forget that the broadcast is still on my page, You Ran Alive, and you can write down your questions there on the chat, on the broadcast, so that I can forward it to Monica. So don't worry about it. You'll still find the broadcast. Monica, would you have any words of wisdom, any final words that you would like to share with people that want to take ahead this journey of starting something new with passion today?
Just to start, this
Take the
is the
first
most
step.
action starting, and don't try for perfection. uncertainty is a given on this journey, but it's also so much fun, you know. This is
Okay.
what I love the most, that you can create things in a funny way, you can
Mm-hmm.
connect with people in a funny way, and you don't need, as a business, when we think about business, we think something very rigid, but it's not. It's such a funny way to work on your own terms.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
this is something that I love about doing what I do.
Okay. So Hillel Lavaskar just asked a question right now. Hillel, thank you for the question. So I'll pop it up real quick. Should you drop a business if we still don't make profits after 3 years?
Um, if you sometimes it's a little too late, you know, to still wait and drag, and because you are wasted, and that means it's not the best place to do it. You or I don't know, you don't have enough market, you don't have, I don't know, you know. But if you reinvent it many times and you are still on the same not money, it's not worth, because you are really wasted. After 3 years, you are so
True.
wasted, and you cannot do anything else. And it's not a solution to go back and
Yep. Yep.
work in a job, you
I,
know, it's
I
not.
I think that's fantastic advice. It's been 3 years. You have tried everything. Probably, like you said, one of the things is the market is not, the people are not ready for that kind of service that you want to provide. Maybe it's time you take that adventure, take that passion that you have with something new and bring it out there. Probably that will work out completely different. So, Monica, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm highly obliged that you're here and spending the time sharing your knowledge with us. I hope the people out there have enjoyed the broadcast with us just as much as we have, or I have, I must say. I hope you have as well. And I'm
Of
hoping
course.
to have Monica again on another broadcast pretty soon. Let me see what she has to say, what feedback I get from her. What will get her back on the broadcast with me? Write it into me and let us know. If you have any further questions for Monica, write them on the chat of the broadcast from my page, You Ran Alive. And we will be very happy to see you once again on another broadcast. Till then, wishing you a fantastic evening, Monica. Thank you so much. Buonasera.
Thank you so, so much. It was really a pleasure to talk to you and to have this friendly chat and yeah, to connect again with you. Thank you
I'm
so much.
so glad you felt this way, Monica. Take care, and we will talk real soon. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.